This is Mrs. Nirupama Karkanis. She's an art teacher at Fukuoka International School. She's teaching second grade as well as other
PYP,
yeah,
full PYP.
full PYP. And I am here to interview her about planning. Okay. Mrs. Karkanis, the first question is, how often do you plan lessons? Do you plan them one at a time or in chunks?
Well, the planning is ongoing, to tell you the truth, and sometimes I plan them even as early as 1 year ago. But the real planning happens when school starts, maybe a month ago, month before the lesson starts.
My second question is, how far in advance do you plan your lessons? You've already kind of answered.
Yeah, I plan them much in advance because I need to prepare for the materials. I need to make sure that the materials are all available. So generally, it could even be like 3-4 months in advance or a month in advance.
Okay. What planning template do you use? What are the main parts of your lesson plan?
Okay, I look at the program of inquiry because generally this is out before the next school year begins. And so there's a rough outline, the template, which is called program of inquiry, which is used by the classroom teachers. So I see what their units of inquiry are, and then I go from there.
Okay. What do you have in mind when you start planning a lesson? The objective or the assessment?
Well, definitely the objective first, the key concept, and the assessment comes later. But what is their unit, what unit they're studying, what is the emphasis on, what is the key concept, and based on that, I plan my lessons.
What documents do you consult when planning your lessons?
Again, the unit of inquiry and the art standards, the art elements, whether they're fitting in, whether it goes, the requirements of the PYP curriculum, grade level wise, whether it meets those standards. So I see both. I see the curriculum also, and I see the program of inquiry also.
Okay. What other teachers do you collaborate with when planning your lessons?
We have a meeting with all the grade levels every third Wednesday of the month, and so we meet all the teachers from all the grade levels and we collaborate with them, discuss what will fit in best with the unit, what art lessons, what art projects we should do, and that's how we plan.
Okay. How often do you plan for differentiation? What groups do you differentiate for?
Generally, when the classes begin, we come to know which group or which student might need differentiation, but there are always surprises because some kids may be doing well in some areas, some may not. So differentiation is constantly going on all the year round. Not with all students, but there are definitely students who require, this. So it's ongoing, I would say.
How often do you include technology in your lesson plans?
Uh, I I do it at least with two classes, two grades, grade 4 and 5, and depending on the availability of the computer labs, we try to do at least 2 lessons.
Do you usually plan a big end of unit summative assessment or several smaller summative assessments?
There are several small summative assessments because when we grade the students, it is very difficult when we are doing so many kids to do like each individual with each project, but it's ongoing throughout the year, the summative assessments.
Do you stick to the lesson plan?
Well, I would say I don't know because it all depends. Sometimes you change, you add to it, you take away from it. Sometimes some things work better. Sometimes the focus is on something else. The lesson may be well tried and tested, but because of the different concept, I change it a little bit, and that's the fun part of it, being creative.
How often do you reflect on the effectiveness of a lesson plan and your students' learning?
Again, the reflection is also quite ongoing, because as the lesson progresses, I come to know whether it is really working or not working, and so I make a little note in my book whether I should not do this next time. Like for example, when we do paper mache, uh, depends on the quality of the material, depends on a lot of things. Um, the ability of the students, the time limit, the type of project we are doing. So depends on various factors. So,
Sure. When do you plan for remediation and or enrichment?
uh, enrichment is after reflection. So when I do the lesson next time, the next year, uh, that is the time I come to know, okay, I could have added this, or I could have taken away from this. I could have added resources. Uh, like for example, you invite a guest artist, or like you do in your classrooms, you invite a guest speaker, or take them to a field trip, or let them explore some other different medium, or support the lesson with different kind of audiovisual um, help. So it all depends, but definitely, I mean, when the lesson is ongoing and it's completing, you come to know what kind of how you could have made it better. And there's also like in your planner, there is a unit where there is a little category which says, how would you plan this differently, how would you make this same lesson but same concept, but how would you do it differently. So that's a reflection for teachers, and at that point, we try to put in things which could have made it better or enriched it further.
Thank you very much. These were all my questions. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.